everyone, Kaiser Soze here, the Giggle Pigs. I wanted to get a quick video up. This will be the first one for January 2017, and it is just a few of the attacks from the last war. So if we go back, I just want to grab them before they get deleted. They could be relevant because ring bases are still popular, and this is a few different ways to hit ring bases. So the first two attacks I'm going to show are from General Catcher. So you could see this is a ring base. Now in all of these attacks, these are not the best layouts of bases for sure, but you can see it does have infernos, it has an eagle. And the basic premise here of Catcher's two attacks is just going to show and demonstrate the power of a standard LaLoon. It's not a GoLaLoon, not a BoLaLoon. BoLaLoon, there's a lot of rumors out that seems to be the best attack and most versatile for most Town Hall 11s. But here basically he's putting in lavas on the lower two air defenses, putting in some haste to allow balloons to be able to get there quickly. You can see the way they funnel towards the center and then start making their way to the core. A single freeze was able to stop both infernos, just demonstrating how bad this base actually was. He uses the Grand Warden ability, though, just to make sure that the loons in the core don't get taken out by the remainder of the infernos when they go down. He puts in the Archer Queen here, just to be able to help and start dealing with all the trash. The loons are making their way over. Some have popped, which is good. You want the lavas to pop, and hopefully some of those pups to be able to stick around and be able to help with the cleanup. And you can see there's no defenses left, really. That last Archer Tower is all that remains. The Barbarian King naturally doesn't make a difference for the enemy here. He's got his queen walking around with a Grand Warden and a bunch of loons that will start rotating clockwise. And then he's got this group of lava pups that are going to start rotating counterclockwise and meet up in the middle a few seconds from now. So that was a 3-star. Didn't have to worry about too many phases of the attack. Just wanted to make sure the big things there are starting off with lavas to be able to tank those original air defenses, using some quick hastes to be able to get the loons to take them out, raging while freezing both infernos in the core. The Eagle Artillery is considered a defense, so it went down pretty quickly, and that's all she wrote for that base. My team, so we're going to go for attack number 2, also a ring base. Again, not a great style. You can see really weak walls. Just pause it for a second. So the clan that we had faced basically had, it was like a strategic attempt to weaken certain things within the base. So here you can see that he's got infernos, he's got expos, he's got the eagle, but he has just completely been neglecting walls plus some point defenses. You can see cannons are still low. So it's strategically trying to do things that would help them out in war. That ended up helping us out because although they had a lot of high-level bases at Town Hall 10 and 11, they certainly weren't the strongest bases, that's for sure. So this is Catch now coming in. He's got a kill squad prior to the loons coming in. And the kill squad basically just wants to be able to lure out and deal with that clan castle. In addition to that, it just wants to be able to take care of the Archer Queen. So he's hit a freeze trap. He's emptied the clan castle, though. The baby hound plus the Valks are coming. He drops his second poison to be able to help with the queen. Still has her ability here. Pops it, takes care of that clan castle, and now begins the LaLoon portion. You can see just from that kill squad here how much of the base over at the corner he was able to take out. So good value there for the royals and everything. So the loons are dropped, or the lavas are dropped at the top end, followed up by some loons behind. The first air defense goes down. And you can see that in the kill squad he did get one of the air defenses as well. So now they're rotating counterclockwise the lavas. And the pup goes up, or the pups come out after the lava pops. He puts in another one just to continue to tank as this single loon makes its way over. Uses the Grand Warden's ability to keep most of the loons up there. A single air defense against a max lava isn't going to create a lot of problems. So the final air defense just down at the bottom was taken out just by the loons. The lava didn't even need to get there to be able to tank. Now it's a race between the lava and the Grand Warden. The lava wins and gets the damage from the Tesla, allowing the Grand Warden to be able to stay alive. A few extra defenses in the core, but the lava is tanking for those loons, so the loons just crap on them and take them out. They're getting a little distracted with the Barb King there, make their way on to the Town Hall. So that was an attack. Realistically, that wasn't even planned out to perfection. There wasn't loons coming in behind each lava. The lavas weren't deployed when the loons were in range with a specific strategic way of tanking for those loons, and it still worked. So part of it goes to the strength of LaLoon at Town Hall 11. Loons now, because of their faster attack speed, really can devastate bases, and they seem to be certainly in the new meta for Town Hall 11 and a lot of Town Hall 10 attacks. Alright, so this war, I've got an example here of a ring base. Now you can see I'm just going to pause. So this is another ring base. This is just another strategy to use on a ring base besides loons. I'm just going to show it because the focus of this video for 2017 ring bases, just want to give some examples of how to be able to take it out. And this includes at Town Hall 10 or Town Hall 11. So basically, this strategy is to push an archer queen into the base. You're going to push an archer queen in. She's going to start doing a queen walk. She's going to pick a direction. Now here at the beginning, man, I completely mess up in a number of ways. One, I, for some reason, wasn't thinking at all and thought that minions would pop seeking air mines, and of course they don't. I put my Grand Warden in, and that's the next thing. I didn't take him off of air for this ground attack. So he takes that seeking air mine and gets killed instantly. So I don't have a Grand Warden, which is fine, because then it almost becomes the equivalent of a Town Hall 10 attack. So there are no Infernos to worry about. If there were Infernos, I'll just pause again for another second. If there were Infernos, I would attack in such a way that the kill squad, my original kill squad, plus the giants and bowlers that I'm going to put in to be able to cut away a big chunk of the base, I would just do it in such a way that they don't get hit right away. So for example, if there was right around here, if there was a lower Inferno plus an upper Inferno somewhere at the top of the base, I would come in at the sides. If the Infernos were over at 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock area, depending upon the style of the ring, I would then come up at the south or the north. So for this base, it didn't matter because there are no Infernos. I just had to worry about the Eagle. I don't want to put in too many troops too early, so I want to do some work with my Archer Queen and her walk, which is why I was know that completely. So my Queen just continues to walk. I'll 2x it here. You can see her clearing out. Entry, we'll call it, and is working towards 9. Sometimes the Queen will go in a direction that you don't want her to go in. If that happens, that's fine. This gap where she entered, I'm still going to use as the entry point for the next phase of the attack. So Clan Castle's popped. I rage her up, use the poison, take care of it. Now she's under quite a bit of fire here from 2 of the level 4, I think, Expos. So now I've dropped the next phase of the attack, which is not really a bowler walk. It's got heroes, giants, some bowlers with a couple of healers. And what I want to do is make sure that the Eagle, hopefully, targets my King as much as possible. So they go and take the enemy Archer Queen out. Now how do I get them to take care of the King? Well, it depends on the number of troops that you've dropped. So I know on Queen walks where I'm using 4 healers, plus the Grand Warden, plus a couple of spells, because spells count as 5 troops. I can then put in the second phase, and as long as I drop my Clan Castle filled with giants, followed by my Barbarian King, then the bowlers plus the healers, the Eagle is going to target my Barbarian King. And the good thing about that is he can take a couple of hits from the Eagle while keeping everything else up. Eagle will devastate a group of giants individually and all of the bowlers all at once. So allowing it to hit, you can see here, direct hit to the Barbarian King. I still have my Rage, and I still have some bowlers and the giants up. So you can see at this point, I've got the easily cleared past 9. I'm almost cleared right, or sorry, this is 9 o'clock. I'm easily right up to 9 o'clock, well past 3 o'clock. So I know now if I put a jump down plus Valkyries at the same position as where my clan castle is, I can get Valks to the core. So this is how to destroy ring bases. Valkyries in the core. If there was Infernos there, I would bring a freeze. That's not my freeze spell, that's the freeze trap. Because there are no Infernos, I just place double rage. And the Valkyries make quick work of that. And my queen continues to walk. The kill squad, or the giants and the bowlers, as far as that original group. I still have some healers up, which is always good. And I'll 4x it just to the end. This attack, I think I had about 12 seconds left at the end of it. Naturally, the longer the queen walk, the more time is going to become an issue because queen walks can be quite slow. So the final attack here I'm going to show is just another ring base as well, which is on number 7. So this just keeps a theme. And on this one, you could use the same exact attack that I did, and you can actually use even the same entry on this one. If we check where the Inferno is, I think the best possible scenario on this base would have my queen entering to take out the enemy archer queen. I could lure the clan castle with hogs or something along this side. When my queen goes in to be able to start clearing, she'll either clear in one direction towards noon or down the line towards 6. Doesn't matter. As soon as she starts, making that decision, basically, of which way she's going to go, I would use the same hole that I used the wall breakers to put down a clan castle worth of giants, followed by barbarian king, and then the bowlers, and they would just go in the opposite way. Once they make a big enough gap and get close enough to 12 and 3 that there's no question, you could then place a jump, because a jump is 7 tiles. There's only a 6 tile space here. You could place a jump, get the Valks into the core, rage, and use a freeze. So the biggest rule of thumb is you rage to the first Inferno and freeze the further one. The Valks are still going to get the benefit of the rage and still be under rage while running to devastate that second one, which is frozen. Sometimes people will freeze the first and then rage to the second, and that just isn't as effective because that first one keeps them being damaged for quite a bit longer. Infernos themselves don't do tons of damage, but other defenses will devastate them while they're being locked on by an Inferno. So here, though, instead of using that attack, it was discussed this is a LaLoon. So I put in some distracting troops, then entered with a golem and some wall breakers to be able to let something target the enemy archer queen right away. I'm popping the clan castle by dropping a giant followed by hogs. I normally would use 2 hogs. In this case I used a giant because there's going to be more than 3 defenses that target. And if there's more than 3 defenses, the extra tanking power of the giant will keep the second hog up a lot longer. If I just put in 2 hogs, they may die so quickly that the clan castle will not fully pop. And I definitely want it to pop. So here my archer queen is rolling around the outside minding her own business, as my archer queen is so well known to do. The remainder of the kill squad keeps on going up. And I rage the barbarian king. His job is going to simply be to help make sure that that clan castle is dead. So if he survives past that, that's great news, but I don't need him to. Even the archer queen in this attack, the same thing. I'd like to keep her up, but it's not a problem. If she goes down, she's just going to be helping with cleanup. So now I focus on one single air defense followed by targeted loons. The loons themselves, I'm just putting 2 loons on each of the defenses. And I simply want to start a counterclockwise rotation. I'll pause it here. I'm trying to make sure that between this air defense that the lavas are on and this one, the lavas won't have to pass directly over the core and get targeted by both of those Infernos. So that rotation you can see has started. So now I'm targeting just the air-seeking or air-targeting defenses. I don't worry about the mortar. I don't worry about the cannon. The loons will take care of them. I just want to make sure that the loons stay up, and I do that by only dropping loons on things that can hurt the loons. So they have rotated now up to the top. This is where the bulk of my loons go. I dropped the Grand Warden just to help with the extra XP. Now I've got a couple of loons with my Grand Warden going to the core. My Grand Warden has left the bulk of the loons. I don't want to pop his ability. I'll just let those loons die and wait until the remainder here, the loons and the lava, can go to the core. So once that happens, a freeze spell again takes out both Infernos, indication of how bad the base was. I then used the King's ability with some rage, not the King, the Grand Warden's ability, to keep everything alive and rage it through, and we can see cleanup pups on the outside. I also took archers for the builders' huts at the very end because loons travel slow. Anytime you see anything in the corners, trade off one wizard, bring 4 archers. It will save tons of attacks, that's for sure. A lot of them will die. So just 4x it. So there we go, some strategies for dealing with ring bases at Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11. As we get into better bases and face better base styles, especially ring bases, I'll try to do this just so people can refer back to it. If it's been a while, they may go several wars without hitting a ring base, and it'll be good to have an example of how to be able to take them out. All right, Kaiser Soze, January 2017, Giggle Pigs.